Wish IPO stock review. Today, we're going to be doing a Wish stock review. So if you're not familiar with Wish stock, we're going to go over that today. Most importantly, we're going to look at their revenue. We're going to look at their total. We're going to look at the revenue, the total assets, their working capital, the competition, their market price, and we're going to compare their stock prices. And we're going to look to see, is Wish stock it's worth investing in. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and make sure
hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button.
If you're catching this live, please comment, tell me where you're from, where you're checking in if you are catching this live. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. And as always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls all the way live from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to be the first person to tell you guys and girls, I don't know that much about Wish as a company itself. All I know is that it sells stuff online. I've seen them do some major sponsorships. That's about it. But today we're going to look at this IPO of this company, to see this big company. It just IPO'd on Friday, December 18th. That's the initial public offering. It just came to the market. People ask me all the time, Prince, man, can you do a review on this? What you think about this company? Is this something should I jump into? So the big things we're going to look at, first of all, the revenue. Well, you know what? Let's look at the competition first. I think that's very important, right? The competition. Why is the competition so important? Because I look at it as an investor. Why should I invest into your company when I can invest into your competition? So let's see, who does Wish think its competition is? I know what I think its competition is. I'm going to tell you who Wish think its competition is. So y'all excuse me as I go down here, and I'm going to find it. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm looking at, this is the S1 report. This is Wish S1 report that they filed on November 20th when they were getting ready to tell everybody they was going to IPO. So we're going to go here, go to table of contents. Up on the table of contents, go to risk factors. Up under the risk factors, this is the risk factor that the company's telling you, like, hey, we have to be very successful at, that we got to be very careful with. So right up on the risk factor, if you read a little bit good here, you follow this. Rely on our merchandise, good experience, our brand and repetition. It's going to get down here to their competition. All right, let me see here. We generate a portion of our revenue advertising. Nope. We plan to contribute after logistics, building Wish local calls, seasonal. Okay. All right, here we go. Right here. They tell you right here, here's the highlight, the competition. We are in we face intense competition. The market is which we operate in rapidly evolving, and if we do not compete efficiently, our results of operations and financial conditions could be harmed. Our market is highly competitive and characterized by rapid changes in technology and consumer sentiment. Competition in our industry has intensified, and we expect this trend to continue as the list of our competitors grow. This competition, amongst others, effectiveness of our ability to attract new users and engage our existing customers. Right here we go. Here's the bread and butter. So right here, when they say consumer sentiment is very important. Consumer sentiment is always something, when you see that financial report come out about consumer sentiment, and this is how it relates to companies, because they're telling you consumer sentiment can affect their financial condition. So right here in this line right here, this is where they're going to list out their top 3 competitors. So, and of course, as soon as I hit that button, I slip out the line. Let me get back down to where I was. Goodness. All right, here we go. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Let me stroll on that back down, find my spot that I was at. All right, here we go. This is their top 3 competitors. Here go the word for word. We compete with e-commerce platforms and other retailers for merchandise, for merchants on our platforms, and merchants can list their goods on a number of e-commerce platforms such as Amazon.com, Alibaba, and Shopify. There are various factors that affect merchants' engagement on our platform, including fees, brand awareness, our reputation, the quality of service. But right here, they said Amazon, Alibaba, and Shopify. So write that down. The competition is Amazon, Alibaba, and Shopify. This is who Wish acknowledged as their competitors. All three of these companies are profitable companies with market cap. Next thing we're going to look, we know who the competition are: Amazon, Alibaba, and Amazon, Alibaba, and Shopify. So next, let's look at the competition. Before we look at the competition, let's take a look at what y'all are saying in the comments. What's going on, Arthur Butler? He says, good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Jonathan Williams says, Charlotte, North Carolina, in the house. Okay, Charlotte, I see you. Okay. Richard Close says, not sure how I got here, but hi. Thanks for checking it out. Arthur Butler said, good evening. We got two Arthur Butler. Okay. That's two. Okay. All right, Arthur Butler. Lucky's mom, how are you doing? She said, good evening. How you doing, Lucky's mom? She's out there in Jacksonville. Woke One says Amazon. That's, and Lucky's mom said eBay is their competitor. There's a bunch of them out there. But the top three that listed was Amazon, Alibaba, and Shopify. It's also a competitor. Okay. Hi. How you doing, Miss Ruby, down there in Memphis, Tennessee? And Woke One, I'm not sure where you're from. Max B, what's going on? He said, I wish they were a better company. They just IPO'd here. They had a pretty good IPO. We got North Carolina house again. Miss Crawford, how you doing, Miss Crawford? Concord, North Carolina. Okay, Arthur Butler's on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so they're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, all of the good stuff. So let's take a look at the competition. Amazon, Alibaba, and Shopify. Amazon market cap is $1.6 trillion. $1.6 trillion as of today. Alibaba's market cap is $713 billion, right? And hold up, before I get into that, Richard Close says he's from Ohio. All right. Thank you for the first time tuning in. So Amazon is $1.6 trillion. Alibaba is $713 billion, and Shopify is $146 billion, right? Now you have Wish coming in at $15 billion. Very, very small in the marketplace. Very small. Now, one thing that I do like about this that I'm going to get into later, I'm going to tell you one of their big competitive advantages. So right now, when you look at the three competitors that they listed, Wish is at $15 billion, very, very small. So they're at $15 billion. Now we got to look at their revenue. Now their revenue, we're going to look at their revenue and we're going to pull up on the S1 report. So how are you going to get there? Go to table of contents. Up on the table of contents, we're going to go to, where's their financial? I think it's it right here. Summary of consolidated financial data. Okay. So right here on their most recent report, they reported, this is in millions. So if they're reporting this in millions, this is $1.7 billion in revenue in the last 9 months. So in 9 months, let's see what is $1.7 billion, right? $1.7 billion in revenue. Let's see how much is that? 1.7 divided by 9. 1.7 billion. I gotta find my financial calculator. So I'm doing 1.7 billion divided by 9. And we're doing this to see how much money they average. No, we need to divide it by 9, not 12. By 9. So per month, that's about 188 million, if I'm mistaken. 1, 2, 3. 188 million. So we can add that on for 3 more months. We're going to do that times 3 equals 500. So, okay. So they made about $2 billion. The reason why I'm looking at revenue, they made about $2 billion this year. We're going to project out and say they made about $2 billion this year. So 2 billion times 2.5 is going to give you about $4.2 billion. That's what this company on average would probably sell for. So right now they have a market cap of 15 billion. So it's approximately, they're trading about 3 to 4 times their earnings. So I'm looking at what's their name? Wish is trading for 3 to 4 times their earnings. So how did I get that? This is a soft number that I looked at their current revenue. They said in the last 9 months they made about $1.7 billion. I divided by that $1.7 billion in revenue. I divided that by 9, and I multiplied it times 3, and then added it plus the 1.7 billion. So that came up roughly a little bit over $2 billion they're looking at this year. And if they made $2 billion this year, I multiply their earnings times 2 or 3. And one second. Dervin Smith checking in from Honolulu, Hawaii. What's up, Prince? What's going on, Dervin Smith, man? Thanks for checking in out there in Honolulu. So one quick thing I want to say is that I'm looking at Wish is trading for 3 to 4 times their earnings, right? That's my projection. So that's cool. That's how I did that by looking at the revenue. Now, the next thing we're going to look at the total assets of the company. Now, we're looking right here at their finances that they use to file for the company. And where are the total assets? I think it's on the second page here. They reported a total assets of $1.3 billion. It's their total assets. So they got $1.3 billion. They're not profitable. They're trading for $1.3 billion. I'm looking at in 2017 how much money they made. So revenue is increasing. So they made 1.1, then 1.7, then 1.9. So revenue is increasing. That's a good thing. Gross profits are increasing. Well, nope. They had a big slide up. Well, no, they didn't. They're increasing. This is 9 months. I almost got the 9 months mixed with a year. But so gross profits are increasing. So they're on the up and up. They're on the upward trend by looking at their revenue, because I need you to be making more and more money, because I'm trying to project for the future. I don't care what you have done up to this point, because up to this point, that's already calculated. I'm looking at, can you go from this price to that price to make me money, right? So their working capital. So I don't see their liabilities in here. Where, let me see, gross profits, loss from operations. I don't see their liabilities in this particular report, but it definitely will come out in their first earnings report. So we looked at their working capital. The working capital, the next thing we're going to get into. Now we're into working capital. The working capital is only $55 million. $55 million is pretty low. Working capital is total current assets minus total current liabilities. This is the money they have to work with. This is what can make companies cash straps. But right here, they're reporting they have $55 million in working capital, but they have $1.1 billion in cash. So that's a nice little cash bump they already have. We got to see if their revenue can grow. Can they break into this space and continue to make money? Now, I don't see their retained earnings on here. They have a negative when you take their total assets minus their total liabilities. So prime example, right? I don't know their total liabilities. This is how I can figure it out. So right here, they're saying they have $1.3 billion in total assets, right? I don't know what the total liabilities is, but the total stockholders deficiency, this is the network of the company. So if the company had 1.3 in total assets and they end up with a -6, that automatically tells me that their total assets are around about liabilities are probably around about $3 billion, right? Roughly around $2 to $3 billion. How do I can roughly come up with that number? Because I know total assets minus total liabilities comes up with your network. And if your network is a -1.6 billion, so that's telling me that's 1.6 plus, so that's about $3 billion in total liabilities. Very high. So total liabilities, they have about $3.9 billion. I come up with that number because I know what total assets is, and I know what shareholder deficiency is, so I can do a little calculation there and see that if my math is not mistaken, that's about $2.9 billion in total liabilities. That's why they have a negative shareholders equity. That's why they have a deficiency. They don't have any equity in the company. It's a -1.6 billion. So that's a lot of debt. A lot of debt holding on to the company, and they only have $55 million in what you call it. So you're looking at the working capital. That's of concern already, right? Now, We got to look up that lockup period. Who in here knows what the lockup period is? I mean, in general, who knows what a lockup period is and how does it pertain to a stock IPO? I've done a couple of videos on this. So I think I did. Yeah, I did one on DoorDash. I did one on who was the other company? DoorDash and Airbnb. I did a video by itself about the lockup period. So what is the lockup period? Why is that important for an investor? Why do we care? So the big thing about the lockup period, how are we going to find that? Go to table of contents. Up on the table of contents, we're going to scroll down here to shares eligible for future sale. Boom. All right. So right here, they're telling you following the offer, we have $43 billion. What? That's 43 million. Sorry about that. 43 million outstanding shares of common A stocks, and 10 million shares of common B stocks based off the number of blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we're going to stroll on down here to the lockup period. You see this right here? Lockup period and market standoff agreement. Our officers, word for word, our officers, directors, and holders of substantially all of our outstanding securities have agreed with the underwriters not to, among other things, dispose of any of our common stocks or securities convertible into exchangeable for shares of our common stock during a 180-day period following the date of this prospectus, subject to earlier determination, option trading, blah, 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 whatever, second day. So here we go. This tells you right here, 180 days from the prospectus. So what is the date of the prospectus? The date of the prospectus, you scroll all the way to the top. Let me go all the way to the top here. You get the date of the prospectus all the way up here on November 20th. So 180 days from November 20th, they're saying the lockup period is going to end. Lockup expiration date, if my math is not forsaking me, I think that's going to be around June 20th. Around June 20th, when they release probably the second earnings report, that's when the lockup period is going to hit. So from November 20th all the way for 180 days, the insiders cannot sell their shares of the company. Now, once this lockup period expires, people who have the inside can now sell the inside of their companies. You understand? Now, that's why that's very important, because the insiders can now unload. A lot of them would take profits, all of the good stuff like that. That's why the lockup period is very important. It's not until June of next year. So here we go here. Now, the next thing we're going to go into is the defining thing, the stock price. Now, let's look at the competition. Amazon stock price is $3,000 with a market cap of $6.2 trillion. Alibaba is $250 with a market cap of $713 billion. Shopify is $1,195 with a market cap of $143 billion. So looking at the top competitors, the one that seems just off of these numbers alone that seems to be the most undervalued is Alibaba. Now you have Wish here with a market cap of $15 billion, but the stock price is only $22. So Wish is only $22, but we notice they have a lot of debt on hand. They're working with a little bit of working capital, and they're unprofitable. So right now, would I invest into Wish? No. I wouldn't buy this IPO until after the lockup period ends in June. I will wait till after June when the lockup period ends. By the time the lockup period ends, you'll probably get a chance to see two earnings reports. You get to see how their earnings report is going to look in March, and then again you're going to see how their earnings reports look in June. And then after June, you get to look at two cycles of their earnings reports, and then that's when the lockup period will end. The stock will probably drop a little bit, and then that will be when I will make my entry point after I get a better picture of what's going on. Right now, looking at its competitors, a company that I would go with would be Alibaba. So Alibaba is $250, but with $13 billion in cash, and it's already profitable. It has a very low PE ratio, price to earnings. I will go to Alibaba over Wish at this time. And then I will wait until June after the lockup period expires, and I have the chance to look at two earnings report to see if I can make a Wish, because I think Wish will probably be in the teens by that time. No disrespect, but that's what I think will probably happen. Here we go here. Let me see what y'all were saying here. I didn't, Max B said the VCs can't sell shares until that date. Look at Max B. That's what I'm talking about. Max B, you definitely got it right. Dervin said date when major investors can sell. You're right. You got that right too, Dervin Smith. That's Max B out of Washington. Then we got Dervin Smith out of which Dervin Smith? He's out of Honolulu, Hawaii. He said no, wouldn't the lockup push them to do better? Exactly. I think I kind of got what you're saying on that one, Max B. But you are 100% right. I would not buy this company. I'll be there in February. You're in Denver, right? Yeah. Okay. So that'll be it. That will be it. So that's going to conclude this episode. I'm going to go do a quick review. Then I'm out of here. So we looked at the revenue of the company, and we determined that Wish is trading 3 to 4 times its earnings. It's an unprofitable company. Or whatnot. He has a total assets. The total assets of Wish was 1.3 billion, which is not a whole lot. They have a total assets of 1.3 billion, but they have a shareholders deficiency, not shareholders equity. They have a shareholder deficiency of 1.6. That's leaving me to believe they have 3 times as much liabilities as they do assets. Not good. That's why they have a negative shareholders. That's why they have a shareholders deficiency. Working capital of 55 million, very small for a company that has $3 billion in debt and $103 billion in assets. The competition is very fierce. They're going into a good space of e-commerce, but it's very fierce. You got Amazon sitting there at with $1 trillion. You got Alibaba sitting there with almost at $1 trillion at 713, and you got Shopify sitting there at 146 billion. If I was to compare them to the competition, to the top 3, this is the competition they list out. I would be looking at Alibaba over Alibaba. That's a Chinese e-commerce company, and they're out of China, where it is not a democracy. It's more of a dictatorship. They tell you where to shop and all those type of things. So Shopify is almost $1,200, and it has a less market cap. But right now, and then I don't want to get into it. I already got into the market caps, but the market caps, y'all already heard me say 6.6 trillion for Amazon, 713 billion for Alibaba, and 146 billion for Shopify, with Wish sitting at the bottom with 15 billion. The only thing that makes Wish attractive is Wish is only $22 at today. And when you look at this, they did better than DoorDash. Look how DoorDash came out at 130, 40 something dollars, some crazy price. I think it was 150 something, if I'm not mistaken, but it's been falling since. That was a crazy price compared to its competitors that was way cheaper. So Wish is way cheaper right now. Now we looked up the lockup period. The lockup period was 180 days from the data of the prospectus, which came out to be about June of next year. So I will wait till June of next year. I will wait 2 years for I will wait 2 years. Not 2 years, 2 quarters. I will see the earnings report that'll probably come out around March time frame, and then I'll watch that next earnings report that's going to come out in June, and then that lockup period is going to expire, which some of those insiders are probably going to get rid of some of their shares, and then stock will probably dip a little bit depending on how the earnings look. That's when I'll be making a move into Wish. I believe Wish should probably be in the teens. If you wait, I think you can get Wish within the teens by next summer. That's just my belief, unless they blow out earnings in March and they blow out earnings in June. But then that'd be more reason for me to buy it, since you know it. So that's my review, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Wish. That would not be a goal for me right now. That I would definitely be waiting for 180 days to that lockup period, and to watch those next earnings report to see how they match up. All right. Let me see right here. Alice, he said Amazon tried to buy this company for $10 billion a few years ago. Yeah, I did hear something about that. And this is what happens. Facebook tried to buy Snapchat for $3 billion. Snapchat said no. So then Facebook went out and mimicked them and did everything they can to destroy them. So that's why you see the stories inside of Instagram, and because Facebook brought Instagram. So that's what Amazon. That's what they do. They buy their competition. Since they didn't want to buy them, now Amazon is going to seek to destroy them. Amazon got almost $2 trillion in market cap, and they can pretty much destroy anybody. So we're going to see how Wish, if they can get a slice of this pie from Amazon, Alibaba, Shopify. We didn't even list all the other e-commerce sites out there, but those are the big boys that Wish acknowledged as their competition. All right. Richard Close out there in Ohio says, Prince, what site were you using to get this info? Everybody tell him what site that I always use to get my info in the comments. Tell him where we get this info from. All my info comes from the SEC.gov. This is the Security and Exchange Commission.gov. SEC, that's Sierra, Echo, Charlie.gov, right? The reason why I go to this is who the company reports to. There you go. Miss Crawford already got it. Max B already tell you the SEC.gov. That's where I get this info from. This is not an article, something I read, something that I heard. This is public information. This is a publicly traded company. I can look up any publicly traded company, anything they file with the SEC. And the SEC is the governing body over everybody, right? The SEC is the one that charges Robinhood. The SEC is the one that shuts people down. They're the ones that send people to jail in the financial industry. They was created in 1934 due to the Great Depression. Once we had what led us into that Great Depression, the SEC became the godfather over the markets. So that's the governing body. That's who I go to, because if you lie on the SEC report, if I'm fed bad information, they can the CEO can go to jail time. And CEOs have definitely lied on financial reports plenty of times. But that's neither here or there. Max B said, good way to play it. He said, but how else could the add value? Amazon's killing everything. But that's the thing about it, right? You got Walmart. Walmart is room for the little guy. How much growing can Amazon do versus how much growing can Wish do? Potentially. Wish can get up in there and figure something out and get a slice of that pie, right? So the growth, like look at Ford. How much growth can Ford do versus Tesla? Tesla has a lot of growth that it can do. So Amazon was a little guy at one time too. Walmart was a small guy at one time before they became the giants that they are. So yes, Amazon is killing everything is walking, but don't count them out. So there we go. Max B put it out SEC.gov. Arthur Butler already put it out at the SEC.gov. Ms. Crawford put it out at the SEC.gov. So Richard says, thanks, no problem. He said, what did he say? Somebody said, straight from the big house. Yep, the SEC.gov. Yep. Now, you also can get it from investor relations on Wish. So the company has to make the information public on their website. So you can go to investor relations to get it. But I go straight to the SEC.gov. I can't say your name, Isaiah. He says, I think Walmart can potentially buy. Oh, that's a very good one. Walmart should buy them. But, Wish seems to be stubborn right now. That would be very good because Walmart is moving into the e-commerce space. Very good observation. That'll be a perfect company for Walmart to buy for $15 billion. Go get them. Arthur Butler, you're right. He said delisting decisions, SEC too. Yes, the SEC. Yes, if you are doing fraudulent things and you're not filing your reports, not doing what you're supposed to see, they can get you delisted. But before the SEC delists you, the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones or wherever you listed, they'll probably just delist you first. So look at Tesla. Tesla just got added to the SEC. I mean, not to the SEC, but to the S&P 500. So, yeah, they can stop you from trading at all. They're the ones that shut down Enron. That's the last big company that got shut down because of Enron. And ever since the Enron scandal happened, you've seen the SEC become more fierce about everything. All right. All right. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he said they want TikTok. They do want TikTok too. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good thing. I think that'd be a good look for Walmart to get Wish, because especially with them moving into the e-commerce space, that'd be a very good look for them. He said Walmart is a sleeper. They also collaborated with LeBron James. They have a lot of money. They can collaborate with anybody they want to. I don't think it's a sleeper. I think that Walmart, when it comes down to growth, everybody know what Walmart is. Everybody know what Walmart does. I mean, Walmart hasn't really evolved in the last 10 years outside of anybody's expectation versus Amazon. Amazon got its own distribution centers now. Amazon got its own, I don't know how much stuff Amazon done branched. Oh, Amazon brought Whole Foods. Remember, they own Whole Foods now. They're delivering their own products now. They got all this type of technology versus Walmart. Walmart is doing their thing. They're big, but you don't see how all these things going with whatever, right? Richard Close said, glad I dropped in. Very informative. Thank you, sir. This is how we do it at the Investor Show. We always give out good information that's verifiable. Thank you for dropping in. Hopefully you hit that like, subscribe, comment, share button, and follow for more good content. Max B said, Target or Costco could be a play. Add Prime to Costco membership. Costco's and Target. Target is a good one. Target is a company that moves, but when you come down to evolving outside of what they do, Walmart is doing what they do better, but you don't really see them evolving, expanding outside. I look at Amazon. Amazon was looking at buying movie theaters to turn into distribution centers. They got their own mail services. You see Amazon trucks all over the place now. You see Amazon warehouses. They've gotten into the food place. They got into shopping. They got into all this stuff. I mean, they're just all over the place. They got into phones. They got Amazon Prime. They compete with Netflix. They got their own streaming service. So you can see Amazon just exploring to more things, whereas Walmart is a big retail company. It's evolving, but it hasn't evolved to the outside yet. Here it is, 2020. They're boosting up. Hey, you can have a Walmart store now. That's crazy. You're behind the power curve. That's like somebody in 2021, like, guys, we're going to launch a brand new thing called a podcast. It was, welcome to 2020. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. To, get back to my day. I got family in town. But I want to announce on December 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern. I will announce this later on. 6 p.m. Eastern, December 24th, we'll be live just like we are here on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm going to add in Instagram. I rarely ever go live on Instagram, but I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to go live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all at the same time. I'm going to have a show just like this. You're going to be able to call in, and I'm going to give $40 to 4 people that can answer financial questions. $40 is going to go to 4 people. This is to commemorate me passing 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm going to give 4 people $40 to say thank you. And since it's the holiday season, I know it's a horrible season for most people, but guess what? We made it through. And I know it's not much, but this is my way to say thank you to you for everybody that has supported, like, share, all that good stuff. So $40 to 4 people is going to be given away live. You call in, you answer a question. I'm going to cash app you the money right away. All right. I'm going to give $40 to 4 people right away. Cash app it to them right there on live. If you answer the live financial question, so it'll be a live stream. Anybody can call in, talk to me directly. And if you get the question right, we're going to give you the $40, and this is my way to say this is the least I can do to help you out on Christmas Eve, to say, here's a Christmas gift. Right there, you get it right then. You can do whatever you want to do. And it's going to be an informative show. So you're going to learn something, hopefully. And you're going to give it a take home $40. A way to say thank you for helping me cross over 40,000 subscribers. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see what y'all are saying. Walmart and Google are working together to compete with Amazon. Okay. Another Bear Gamer says, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Arthur Butler says, thank you. And Max B said, have a great day. Remember, everyone, the bull always wins. That's true. Max B, you tell him about ENPH. Miss Crawford says, thank you for always providing good information. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, boys and girls and children of all ages, until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me do around this globe. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you.